a topic that I think is actually really important because I think Americans who consume mainstream media, and this isn't necessarily a knock on them, but it kind of is. Americans who consume corporate media are told all the time what a politician's considering. Such and such a politician is considering doing this. They're considering doing that. And first of all, I want to point out that whatever a politician's considering, it doesn't matter. No one cares. It's not important. Okay. The other thing is, it's a trick. So what do I mean by that? So the reason I say that what a politician is considering is a trick is because oftentimes their office or someone they know or someone they trust has leaked this to the media to see what response it gets, right? This is what's called A/B testing. You test multiple messages, what you're considering doing, you see which one is more popular, and you go with that, right? So a politician may consider multiple options on something and see what the reaction is in the media, see what the reaction is amongst the people, see what the reaction is amongst their donors, mostly their donors. But the idea is, oh, like maybe I'll do it, but there's no commitment to it, and there's definitely no fight behind it. So, media, don't tell us what a politician is considering. No one cares, okay? You might think they care, but they don't. The only thing that matters that a politician considers doing is when that consideration becomes action, when they actually fight for something, they introduce a bill, they make a speech on the House floor, they start harassing their fellow legislators to do the right thing on an issue. They fight for it, they pass it, or they actually get the thing done. If a politician doesn't do that, what they're thinking about doing, what they're considering doing, what they might one day do, doesn't matter. It just does not matter at all. It is a waste of time. It's a waste of energy because people get their hopes up, right? And maybe they shouldn't. Maybe there's like a media literacy thing in there. But the thing is, part of media literacy relies on the media, right? So the media has to be smarter than to say, oh, well, such and such a politician is considering such and such a thing. No, call them out. They said, oh, this is just A/B testing, right? They really should say, well, a politician is trying to figure out how his donors and his constituents will react to this thing if he does it, instead of the politician's fighting for something. That's the only thing that helps regular people, is if a politician is fighting for something or if they actually get the damn thing done. Other than that, no one cares what they're thinking about, and no one should care what they're thinking about. What goes on in the politician's brain, I don't give a shit. No one cares, okay? The important part of politics, let me just kind of step back for a second. Politics, if you just look at the root word, poly, right? Policy is in there, more or less. Politics, policy, they're all related, right? The point of politics is to enact policy. So if you're not enacting policy, if you haven't accomplished policy, then what you're considering, it doesn't help anyone. You're there to help us. You work for us. The point of you even having this power and authority is to do what you said you were going to do in the campaign and to adapt to new circumstances and to make our lives better as citizens. That's it. That's all you're there for. You're not a celebrity. You're not, what you're considering doesn't matter. You're not meant to be, a star. People aren't supposed to. It's not about any of this other stuff. It's not about the glamour. You're supposed to be a boring-ass politician who just does what the people wants you to do. That's it. Don't do what your donors say want to do, unless your donors are the people, which they should be. Small dollar donations. Get money out of politics. Get big money out of politics, I mean. But yeah, what a politician is considering doesn't matter. And I wish the media would stop reporting about what politicians are considering, because it doesn't change anything. A consideration doesn't change anything. And I know in my last segment, I talked about Biden was considering the pullout from Afghanistan. And the reason I ended that segment with "do it, you'll be a hero" is because the consideration is useless to me. Get the troops out of Afghanistan, right? Do the things that you're considering doing. Don't tell us you're considering doing them. Just do them. Just do them. That's what you're there to do, okay? No one cares about anything else that you do. Just do the policy. Just execute the policy that the people want.